क्षीराब्धिशयना नारायण क्षीराब्धिशयना नारायण श्रीलक्ष्मीरमणा नारायण श्रीलक्ष्मीरमणा नारायण नारायण हरि नारायण नारायण हरि नारायण श्रितजन परिपाल नारायण वैकुण्ठवासा नारायण वैदेही रमणा नारायण क्षीराब्धिशयना नारायण श्रीलक्ष्मीरमणा नारायण नारायण वेदपारायण नरहरिरूपा नारायण सत्यस्वरूपा नारायण श्रीलक्ष्मीरमणा नारायण क्षीराब्धिशयना नारायण श्रीलक्ष्मीरमणा नारायण श्रीलक्ष्मीरमणा नारायण बोलिए नारायण भगवान की जय, सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं Satgurum Brahma Vidwaram. It is better if you can be on this side. Up also, please come on this side or sit in the front. Don't sit here on my perpendicular. So we had seen the introduction of Bhagavad Geeta chapter 6, where Puja Gurudev has given few indicators. Why should we meditate? What is the need for meditation? First thing he said was, confrontation with situations is unavoidable. That wherever Bhagwan has placed us, we don't have a choice of escaping that place. This idea, if we remove from mind, many creative solutions present in front of us. And meditation is one technique which will just deepen our response to a given situation. Then he said, there is despair amidst abundance. Despair amidst abundance. There are so many things with us, but in and through those things, there is also some kind of despair. Knowledge of the self, abidance in the self, is going to be our anchor to overcome this despair. Meditation is that technique which will help us turn our attention towards our own true nature, which is ever available to us. Second was that. Third, he had said, it feels as though with time, we have lost control over our mind. Mastery over mind is as though going away. So meditation is that technique which will help us bring back that mastery. Even sitting quietly for a few minutes will have its own benefits. Even if we don't do the technical Vedantic meditation, just sitting quietly. That's why you see in schools and all, mindfulness technique has become so popular. Because it is not having too much of do's and don'ts. Whatever you are doing, do it mindfully. Means everything has its own benefit, but if we can do it the right way, the benefits are even greater. The primary purpose of meditation is to remove this erroneous notion that I am this person. Vedanta has come here to tell us that our essential nature is consciousness. Right from second chapter, Bhagwan Krishna has been hammering this point in different ways. Now we have come to the sixth chapter, where he says, whatever I have told you about nature of yourself, if you want to abide in it, then meditate upon these teachings. So few verses if we can memorize. Few verses if we can, or few words if we can memorize. That itself will become our anchor while meditating. Because you will notice, when you sit to meditate, if you don't give this mind something to think, it will think about world. Thinking about Vedanta is as good as no thinking. Thinking about Atma Lakshana is as good as no thinking, because it is eliminating all erroneous notions. Sometimes people might have that question also. You say, don't think about the world. Don't initiate any thoughts. But here when I am thinking about Atma Lakshana, thinking about nature of Atma, is that also not a thought? That is a special kind of thought. It will remove all other thoughts and negate itself also. It will remove all other thoughts and also negate itself. Then we saw one definition of meditation by Gurudev. What is the definition? Meditation is engaging our entire mind in the contemplation of the divine. So entire mind should be engaged. Subject of contemplation is divine. By maintaining similar thought currents at the exclusion of dissimilar thought currents, that is meditation. So what is the nature of divine? I will come to know through Shravanam and trying to maintain the same thought flow. And whenever other things are coming, other thoughts come, putting forth effort to keep them away. That also is cultivated through practice. Mind becoming calm is not a sudden result. It is something that the sadhaka has worked hard for. Whenever a thought rises, he has this inner strength to quieten it down. Now, what kind of lifestyle should he live such that this practice in meditation becomes easier? That is what is discussed in the first 9 verses. Okay, the first verse, let us chant together. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Anashritah Karma Phalam Karyam Karma Karoti Yah Sanyasi Cha Yogi Cha Na Niragnir Na Chakriyah. Bhagavan says, the meditator, when he is interacting in the world, one indicator of this meditator is he is not over dependent upon the results of actions. Karma phalam means result of action. Anashrita means not overly dependent. We had seen the 3 things within karma phala. One is people, another is object, third one is outcomes. None of these 3 he is overly dependent upon. Now somebody might ask, is it even possible to be this way? Not having any kind of dependence upon results of action, because you don't know what is today's world. Efforts are not rewarded, results are rewarded. You go anywhere, they say it is not your effort which is rewarded, it is your final result which is rewarded. See, after you study Bhagavad Geeta, you might have Puro Paksha. One of your friend might come and say, you are going to all this Bhagavad Geeta talks, you study Bhagavad Geeta. What does it say there? You say this line, Anashritah karma phalam karyam karma karoti yah. He says it's a very impractical advice. I say, look at the world today. Whatever is your final outcome, that is what is considered. Even if you take any project, what is your main parameter to begin with? Quarterly goals, annual goal. Is it karma phala or not? And what is Bhagavan saying here? Anashritah. Don't depend upon that milestone. You know, one thing we have to remember, there is a slight difference in the way Vedanta looks at karma phala, result. We'll take an example. Through that, hopefully this connection becomes clear. You can come here, sit here. Yeah. Let us say you are driving a car. Okay, when you drive a car, on the freeway, there are 2 lines, right? 2 white lines are there. Let's say it's a one lane freeway, 1 lane road. You have 2 lines, right? 2 white lines are there. And you have a destination, a goal to reach. In the path of Karma Yoga, or in the context of what Bhagavan Krishna is saying, he is saying the goal is the white line. The goal is not the final destination where you have to reach. If I go out of the white line, if you have that indicator, it will start beeping. Come back into the lane. So goal is just to make sure that I am staying on track I'm going in the right direction. So one side of that white line is my goal. Another side of the white line is, or another white line on the other side is dharma, values. While I'm pursuing my goal, I should not step out of those bounds of values also. And the final goal, the destination which is there, destination is a beautiful mind. That is how Bhagavan Krishna is going to present. He is going to present that your destination in the path of life is not your material goal. Destination or the culmination of your journey is in getting a beautiful mind. Then what is the purpose of goal? Can I not have this goal, or is it totally unimportant? We say no, it is very important, only to make sure that I am going in my lane. Not stepping this side, not stepping that side. When we drive, we have music also, right? In the car. That music is devotion to God. So that journey is very joyful. You can enjoy the scenery, listen to that music, stay within the bounds of my secular goal and dharma. Sometimes the mistake which can happen is, instead of thinking the goal to be the white line, I might think goal to be the final destination. And that is where the whole journey gets missed out. And the main result, what I should have really gotten, that also I might miss out. You know, another beauty is this flag which is on the one side. The final destination is beautiful mind. On other side also, there is another destination. That is an agitated mind. You are driving the car in this direction or that direction, the white lines will be the same. Means you might be headed towards the agitated mind direction and still feel this goal which is there. I'm still driving within that lane of the goal. I mean, the point is, Karma Yoga Siddhanta demands some certain fundamental shift. And we will have to do our own mananam to say what is my current stage in life and how is it linked to my final goal. This is one thing, what Bhagavan is saying about, is it possible to do or possible to live without ashraya in karma phala? It is very much possible only when we get ashraya in Bhagavan. Ashraya means support. This person feels taking support in Bhagavan is much more reliable than taking support in results of actions. Because if he takes it, he himself feels there is so much agitation, so much uncertainty. I don't know which direction I am driving. I feel I am driving, but actually I am driving in the opposite direction. Even if I have reached the goal, I have reached it with an agitated mind. That is the message here in the first verse, anashritaha karma phalam. Another question that generally comes is, if a person is not having this drive, right, to go after results, where is his motivation coming from? What inspires him? Because generally, result is the one which we use for inspiration. Right? Higher the goal is, a greater is the inspiration. And here he is saying, anashrita karma phalam. He is not having any insistence on karma phala, not having dependence upon karma phala. So what drives him? There are two main factors which drive him. One factor is his kartavya. Kartavya means the sense of duty. Sense of duty, that itself is a very good motivation. Every time we did not have high goal as a motivation. In fact, if we keep having high goals in everything, then we'll feel we are getting burnt out by that goal also. So motivation can come just from this sense of duty, that Bhagwan has given this duty to me. My job is to do it very well. In doing it well, he gets a lot of joy. At this point, we have to take certain examples where this quality is seen, and then try to understand how it is possible to remain motivated without having goal or end result as motivation. One very generic example, very precise one, is people who serve for the nation. Those who are in military. The spirit of sacrifice which comes in their life, that spirit of sacrifice comes from the sense of duty towards the nation. If they do that duty well, no matter they get rewards. Different stars are there. But you ask most of them, are you working because of the star? Or are you working because of love for country? They'll say, we are working for our commitment to the nation. All these things which are there, they are a byproduct. If it comes well and good, but that is not the main reason for which I am going ahead. You can also take some examples in our own day-to-day life. I'll share two of them. You see whether you have seen more or not. Have you been to any national parks here? And that too a guided tour in a national park. Have you seen any of those? Invariably, I have found the one who is giving the tour, they are so enthusiastic about telling you how great is this forest. And it's a very ordinary, thing per se. They're just telling you about trees, they're just telling you about different things around. But the drive which comes in their life to do that job well is not coming because of result. They love forest. They will come and tell you about forest in a way that you also will start loving forest. Recently when we went to Krishnalaya, we took everybody to Redwoods, the Richardson Grove. And there they did a guided tour. I've been to Krishnalaya so many times, but I never knew how great those redwood trees were. They are 4,000 years old. And the height, if you see, it's a wonder how they are standing there. They don't even get sunlight sometimes. It's so tall. The guide was telling us that they have a network of roots. They don't survive because of deep roots. They communicate with each other. Whoever wants anything, they can borrow it from the other tree. So if one tree is running short of nutrient, it will send a signal in that whole network. Another tree will share whatever is in access. Like this, they have been surviving for 4,000 years. And then she was explaining, different things. There this verse came to my mind, Anashrita karma phalam. Those who are visiting, whether they are interested or not interested, they might be taking pictures somewhere. She is happily doing her job because she has that kartavya. Second place I have seen this is libraries. When you ask for a simple book, if that librarian really loves the job, they will go over and beyond to help you to get that book. Then they need not do it actually. Their job is just to make sure that people who come, they get directed to the books. But if you see somebody come along with you, show you the book, ask you what is your interest, help you clarify what you want to get. You see, that is another way of working where this person is independent of karma phala. The whole point is we should not feel the motivation for work only comes through result. There are different motivations. We just have to explore them. Now this duty also, at some point, it can get too overwhelming. The way to sweeten that kartavya is through devotion. And that devotion, for whomever we have love for, that love becomes a great motivation for that person. Morning he might do puja for half an hour. Throughout the day he feels, whatever I am doing in my day is my offering to the Lord. Specific ritual was for short time. But throughout the day, his mind is in this bhavana that whatever I am doing is my puja for the Lord. That is his another drive to keep going. That person is called as Sanyasi. Saha Sanyasi cha yogi cha na niragnihi na cha akriyah. Not the one who has formally taken sannyasa. That alone is not sufficient. Bhagavan says what we really need in sannyasa is this freedom from karma phala. Freedom from overly depending upon results of actions. Now Bhagavan has something more to say about sannyasa. You see what he says. Yam sannyasamiti prahuhu yogam tam vidhi pandava nahya sannyasta sankalpaha yogi bhavati kaschana yam sannyasamiti prahuhu yogam tam vidhi pandava nahya sannyasta sankalpaha yogi bhavati kaschana. Bhagavan is in inspired mood today to talk about sannyasa, sannyasa, sannyasa. But he is telling the right meaning of sannyasa. He says, whom do I call a sannyasi? Previous verse he called Karma Yogi as Sanyasi. Did you notice that? Sa Sanyasi cha Yogi cha. What has that Karma Yogi done? He has removed his ashraya from Karma Phala. Dependence from Karma Phala he has removed. Because of that, Bhagavan called him a Sanyasi. He has still not let go of his ahankara. His understanding or this notion, I am this person, is still there. All he did was, he didn't get attached to results of action. Bhagavan called that person a sannyasi. Now he is clarifying it. He says, Yam sanyasamiti prahuhu yogam tam vidhi pandava. Hey Pandava Arjuna, know that thing which I call as sannyasa. Yam sanyasam. What I call as sannyasa, tam vidhi. Know that thing. Bhagavan, what do you call as sannyasa? Nahi asanyasa sankalpaha yogi bhavati kaschana. The one who has not given up sankalpas, that person can never meditate. Yogi here means dhyata. Dhyata means meditator. This is the one who has given up sankalpa. That person is a sannyasi. That person can happily meditate. Now what is sankalpa? There are two words there. Sam and kalpa. Sankalpa means some resolve which makes us feel if this thing happens, everything is good. Samyakatva kalpana. Samyakatva means if this thing happens, kalpana means hope that everything will be good. Bhagavan says this kind of sankalpa we should give up. He says there is nothing in this world, if it happens, everything will be good. It's only a matter of time. The one who has given up this sankalpa is a happy person, is a free person. That person's mind is available to him to meditate. Now we should sit down and think, what are the sankalpas that we are having? See, some sankalpas will be very day-to-day sankalpas. I like a particular food. I say if I get that food, I'll be happy. In sankalpa also you will find there is strong sankalpa and there is weak sankalpa. Weak sankalpa with little bit thinking you can cut it. Strong sankalpa is unless I get that food, I will not be happy. Some sankalpas we make for ourselves. Some sankalpas we make for others. If child goes to that particular college, then everything will be good. That time we should remember this. Nahi asanyasa sankalpaha yogi bhavati kaschana. Sankalpa is good so long as it is the white lane. It should give us direction where we are going. Goal is not sankalpa. In his own understanding, he has realized no matter what I do, no matter what I get, it is never going to be a permanent fix to challenges in life. There is one very famous verse in Mahabharata. It's a story of a sage called Monkey. M-A-N-K-I. M-A-N-K-I. Monkey. And the teaching of sage Monkey is called as Monkey Geeta. Monkey Geeta. It comes in Shanti Parva of Mahabharata. Yudhishthira asks Bhishma, if somebody is striving very hard to get some wealth, to do good work, and if he is unable to get it, what should that person do? Should he keep striving hard or should he be content with whatever he has gotten? And Bhishma says, let me tell you the story of one sage called as Monkey. He was a noble person, pious person, wanting to do good work. But whatever he started, everything would fizzle out. Whatever good things he started, everything would fizzle out very quickly. Then finally he feels, I should get 2 bulls. I will bring them, I will plow my field, get all the crops. From that at least I will get some wealth and I'll do something good. Now he ties those 2 bulls with a wooden bar. Now he is ready to take them into the field and plow the field. But he just goes somewhere inside, and these bulls, they were very strong bulls and very turbulent. They run, both of them, and there was a camel sitting there. They go and put that wooden bar on the camel's neck. And this camel, gets very anxious and gets up. So imagine the situation. Camel is there, wooden bar on its neck, and 2 bulls hanging, both sides. And the camel starts running. Now the drishya in Mahabharata is, Monkey Rishi is watching that. He is watching his 2 bulls going, and he starts talking to his mind. He starts talking to his mind. He says, everything I have done has ended up in sorrow. And he says, I know what is the root of this sorrow. He says, oh desire, you are the root of my sorrow. And this desire came because of the sankalpa that I made, that if this thing happens, everything will be good. If I have this wealth, from that I will do something good, from that I will do something. This kind of sankalpa I entertained. Because of that, I am in this situation right now. He says, therefore, I am not going to do any sankalpa. Kama janami te moolam sankalpat kila jayase. Shankaracharya also has quoted it. That important it is. He says, O Kama, I know your root. Sankalpat kila jayase. You are born because of this sankalpa. Whenever I make a resolve, that resolve turns into a desire. That desire turns into an urge. Desire also sometimes, weak desires are just blown away. But this urge which is there that will push this person into action. And that action brings more vasanas, more sankalpas. He says, this is the cycle I am caught. Staying in this cycle, there is no happiness. He says, the best thing I've understood is, don't make erroneous sankalpas. Means whatever Bhagavan has kept for us, that we are going to get no matter what. What did Shankaracharya say in Bhajagovindam? Yal labhase nija karmo pattam, vittam tena vinodaya chittam. With our hard work, whatever Bhagavan has blessed us, with that learn to keep yourself entertained. Vinodaya means what? Entertain means stay happy. It's an art. Not to make sankalpa means that person who is content, that person can practice this sadhana. I had read one short anecdote in the life of Benjamin Franklin. Very simple it was, but it conveyed a point. He had a son, a little boy. He wanted to teach his son the importance of contentment. So what he does is, he gives him one apple. Son loved apple. Children here generally love apples, I think, right? Breakfast and all. He said, one apple he takes, very happy. Then he gives another apple. Second apple also he holds. Puts another one, third he holds. Fourth one he puts, all four fall down. And he starts crying. He says, that is what happens with us with regards to different sankalpas. We have one sankalpa, it is fulfilled, we feel happy. We make another sankalpa, it is fulfilled, it is happy. But like this, when we start making more and more sankalpas, he says everything falls down. And Bhagavan very clearly says here, Nahi asanyasya sankalpaha yogi bhavati kaschana. If somebody wants to meditate, one thing he has to pay attention in life is, remove this idea that if this thing happens, everything will be good. About whatever thing we are making sankalpa, he says, let Bhagavan make sankalpas. What is that sankalpa called as? Shiva Sankalpa. That is the whole teaching of Shiva Sankalpa Suktam. Tanme manaha Shiva Sankalpa mastu. Whatever is the sankalpa of Bhagavan Shiva, may that become my sankalpa. This is from my side, I will not insist upon anything too much. Whenever we discuss this topic, there is another thought that can come to a sadhaka. The sadhaka might feel, you don't know my life. If I don't make sankalpa, if I don't insist, nothing is going to work. Nothing is going to work if I don't make strong insistence. You just give, theoretical advice. This story in our house is very different. Unless I insist, nothing happens. There it is said, there are two types of insistence. One insistence is for dharma-related topics. One insistence is for values. And when it comes to values, there is no harm in insisting. When it comes to dharma, there is nothing wrong in insisting. But doing it in such a way that it is not coming across as rude. That insistence is not coming across as something very sharp. What is the best example for this? Nachiketa. In Kathopanishad, that's what we are seeing, right? He sees his father doing something wrong. He sees his father not doing dharma. There he says, it is my duty to insist. Duty to go and tell father that he is doing the wrong thing. But you see how he tells it. Kasmai mam dasyasi iti. He says, oh father, to whom are you going to give me to? Just pay attention to how you are giving things. If you directly apply it, nahi asanyasya sankalpaha yogi bhavati kashana, Nachiketa should have said, I want to meditate, I don't want to interfere in whatever father is doing. He says, no, it's a dharma related topic. There it is okay to insist. There are some topics related to preferences. Topic related to preferences. He says there one can be flexible. So many choices are there related to simple things in life. Color of dress. Should we do this? Should we do that? Different choices which are related to preferences, there it doesn't have strong insistence. And these are two separate categories. Okay. The one who wants to meditate, it says that person has developed this ability to dissolve individual preference. Now he has done this, what he has accomplished out of it. See, next verse, Bhagavan says, he gives a beautiful metaphor. Arurukshor muner yogam karma karana muchyate yoga rudhasya tasyaiva shamah karana muchyate Arurukshor muner yogam karma karana muchyate yoga rudhasya tasyaiva shamah karana muchyate. Bhagavan calls a seeker with two names. One is called as Arurukshu, second is called as Yoga Rudha. Arurukshu means one who is trying to climb. Arudhum ichu, trying to climb. Arudha means one who has already climbed. So let's say there is a horse. One person is trying to climb the horse. And second person has climbed the horse. So what is the metaphor here? One person is trying to meditate. One person is trying to get the qualifications to meditate. Second person is ready to meditate. So Arurukshu is the one who is trying to meditate. And Yogarudha is the one who is ready for meditation. Is there are two types of people, there are two types of sadhakas. And both will have different instructions. They will not have the same instruction from scriptures and from their guru. What is the instruction for the one who is trying to climb? If you want to climb on the horse, take help of that stirrup. You put your foot there and then take the help and then sit on the horse. The one who has already climbed, the instruction is, now don't worry about the stirrup, just sit there, focus on your goal. So there Bhagavan says, the one who is trying to meditate, your sadhana is Karma Yoga. The one who is trying to get the qualifications for meditation, Bhagavan says, the main sadhana is Karma Yoga. The one who has already climbed and is ready to meditate, that person's main sadhana is Shamaha. Withdrawal from Karma Yoga. This is the beauty, huh? And we should always stay true to Shastra advice. We should not think about public opinion. What is the instruction that scripture is giving us? It says, live your life in such a way that we become ready for meditation. That's why I said the goal of Karma Yoga is not the goal that we think is the goal. The tangible result which is there, it is only the guide. What is the final destination? He says, become Yogarudha. If you are driving on this path of karma, drive in such a way that your final destination is you are able to meditate effortlessly. In fact, true progress in spiritual life is directly proportional to our ability to meditate. One of the major metric of spiritual progress is how effortless is our mind when it comes to meditation. But the beauty is that same karma, which could have become a source of bondage for me, Bhagavan says if I can use it well, that will bring all the qualifications needed for meditation. There is one saying in Sanskrit, Yasya bhumau nipatitah tam alambhe uddharet. If you are walking and you slip and fall, why did you fall? Because of the ground. It was uneven or something. Taking support of the same ground, I have to get up. So karma is something. Why are we caught in samsara? Is it because of karma? But how am I going to come out of samsara? Through karma only. Through karma. That is what Bhagavan is saying here. Arurukshor muner yogam karma karana uchyate. The one who is trying to climb, trying to meditate, for that person, Karma Yoga is the means. What is Karma Yoga? Several places he has already explained. Previous verse only he explained. Drop all Sankalpas. Don't think that if this happens, everything will be good. And drop over insistence upon results of actions. That is Karma Yoga. That will be our sadhana to get qualifications. And Yogarudha tasyeva. The person who is Yogarudha, one who has sat on or one who has mastered the mind. For that person, Shamah Karana Muchyate. It says withdraw from karma and put your mind exclusively in the self. Focus all your efforts for self-abidance, whatever karma had to give you, that it has already given. Okay, so this is the understanding. You see, Bhagavan has used the word Muni over here. Did you notice that? Arurokshoho muner yogam karma karana muchyate. Means of that Muni who is trying to get mastery over mind. Karma is the means. Means now he is calling a Karma Yogi as Muni. Did you notice that? One who is a Karma Yogi, one who is still striving to sit on the horse. That person Bhagavan is calling as Muni. Muni word means one who reflects. Mananat Munihi. The one who reflects is called a Muni. This person has reflected upon the futility of having ashraya in karma phala. Means he has analyzed his life carefully and he has come to this conclusion that taking ashraya in Bhagavan is much more safer ashraya. It's a better ashraya than taking ashraya in karma phala. He says, if I have done my duty well, anyway he will give the result. Why should I hold on to karma phala and get anxious? That is his bhavana. That's why Bhagavan calls him as a Muni. You know, these verses open up so many facets in our life. Sometimes we feel this particular action is not good. I need to do something else. Then everything will be good. Bhagavan Krishna later mentions in 18th chapter, there is no karma in this world which is free from defect. Just like there is no fire without smoke, every karma in this world has some or the other defect. So don't have this idea that only if I get to do certain things, I am more efficient. Only if I get to do certain things, I'll be more productive. For this person, his goal is something very different. Goal is to become Yogarudha. In becoming Yogarudha, there is no insistence on which karma I have to do. In becoming Yogarudha, the main requirement is doing things in the right way. Recently, we were having one discussion in one place. Our forefathers, they were so knowledgeable as far as rituals are concerned. Even now, this Mahalaya, Pitrupaksha rituals, whatever they know, what we know is a very small fraction. Whatever they followed and what we are able to follow is a very small fraction. If they have done so many things and they are getting results because of that, and if I don't know all of that, then what about me? Will I still get those results? Or do I have to start everything again, learn everything, and then do those things? But if I start doing those things, I don't have that much time to do what forefathers did. If you look at this verse, what it tells us is, it is not important what we do. What is more important is how we do it. We have two journeys. One point is Aruroksha, second point is Yogarudha. To come from Aruroksha to Yogarudha, you can take different paths. One path is of ritual, all the traditions which are there. But your final destination is Yogarudha only. Get a beautiful mind, get a pure mind, which is able to meditate. Or follow the path of Karma Yoga. Wherever Bhagwan has placed us, whatever duties he has given us, do them well such that you can come to the same point. Not doing anything different, doing the same thing in a different way. Now, Bhagwan is a very good teacher. Whichever word he uses, he will elaborate that word himself. He will not leave it up to the student to define Yogarudha. He defines what he means by Yogarudha. Very beautiful verse. Look at the fourth one. Yada hinendriyartheshu na karmasvanusajjate sarva sankalpa sanyasi yogarudhastadochyate yada hinendriyartheshu na karmasvanusajjate sankalpa sanyasi yogarudhastadochyate. Arjuna, do you want to get this title of Yogarudha? Arjuna must have said yes. He said, check yourself against these three things. If you get check for all three, congratulations, you are Yogarudha, you can start meditating right now. First thing Bhagwan asks is, ask yourself, how much is the pull of sense objects towards my mind? How much is sense object pulling my mind outside? If it is helplessly getting drawn, Aruroksha. Go back to Karma Yoga. Do karma in such a way that we get vairagya from sense objects. But if, let us say, 70-80% he is successful in withdrawing his mind. 20% now and then mind goes out. But not helplessly goes out. Few places it goes out. He says that person is ready for meditation. Yadahina indriyartheshu anushajjate. Anushajjate means helplessly gets drawn. Mind doesn't helplessly get drawn towards sense objects. Second one is very subtle. Mind doesn't helplessly get drawn towards actions. Whatever he is doing in life, na karmasu anushajjate. In those actions, in those roles which are given to him, he doesn't get helplessly carried away. The best indicator of this is, how do I know whether I am attached to my role or not? So we should observe our mind whenever that role is taken away or whenever that work is taken away. If mind feels restless, that is this quality. Na karmasu or karmasu anushajjate. Getting helplessly drawn towards karma. So what is Bhagwan's advice to us? Do karma in such a way that you don't get attached to your role also. Do karma in such a way that you are free from attachment to the role. And you see, any role we get, if you are not alert, very quickly this karma anushajja will creep in. There is one nyaya in Sanskrit called as Swasru Nirgat Chokti Nyaya. The story is, there is a daughter-in-law, newly-wed daughter-in-law, who is in the house, and one beggar comes to ask something. He says, give me something. Daughter-in-law says, there is nothing in the home, go away. Now this beggar was going away. Her mother-in-law had gone to the temple. She was coming back. She saw this beggar come from their home. He said, how come you are coming back? He said, your daughter-in-law said, there is nothing inside, please go. He said, how come my daughter-in-law said this? She goes, stands on the door, turns towards the beggar and says, okay, there is nothing in the home, now you can go. He said, there is the same thing she only told, what is it that you are telling? He said that she told, but this is I am telling. That is karma sakti. Huh? Whatever titles are given, if somebody else does it, that ahankara gets very uncomfortable. Bhagwan says you are here to free yourself. Why are you getting caught up in all these roles? The one who is free from it, that person can happily meditate. Na karmasu anushajjate. Third one is, see, Bhagwan is so particular about Sankalpa. 3 times he has mentioned it now. Sarva Sankalpa Sanyasi. The person who doesn't make any resolves. That person is Yogarudha. All these 3 things are checked. That person is ready to meditate. But remember, these things are not said to make us feel that, oh, where am I going to meditate? It is not to make us feel that I am nowhere close to meditation. What Bhagwan is telling us is, be careful. Karma is a double-edged sword. If you use it well, you can do many productive things. If you don't use it well, kruti mahodadau patana karanam. It's an ocean of samsara where we will get drowned. So 3 precise things he mentions. Keep looking within. Is my mind getting helplessly drawn towards sense objects? Am I getting overly attached to my roles and titles? And third one is my mind making sankalpa after sankalpa? 3 things if we can be free of, he says that person is Yogarudha. He has climbed over his turbulent mind and he can move towards the main pursuit of human birth. Manushya Janma is not for any of these 3 things. Not to make sankalpa, not to get caught in karma, neither to get caught in indriya artha. Artha means sense objects, indriya means sense. So those things, if one is careful, that person can effectively meditate. Now Bhagwan has told us what is the nature of Uddhara. Uddhara means progress in life. Next verse is reminding us, if you have made little progress, don't step back. Whatever little progress you have made, don't step back, keep moving forward. Very popular verse, which we will see in the next session. Om पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरिः ओम। श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम।